Okay, so this is episode 4 of season 4 of No Peace Until Death, a Witcher TTRPG session using years and hardships. And I will show you what I've written. Just go to season 4, chapter 4. Just a small thing. So, Bodrig, the night before the wedding. Carthis, disguised as Sir Luther, has successfully infiltrated the town with the aid of his retinue. However, not all has gone exactly to plan. A fated meeting with Jaromir Kazaranarg of Sodden introduced the group to the groom of the wedding, and he did not make a good impression. Although the heroes intended to trick Jaromir into appearing as though he was wenching before the wedding, but instead they learned Jaromir planned to poison Luther due to the likely war to come. Okay. It's too loud. Alright. You guys are in the inn room, I think. Currently. Yeah, we'll start there. And then we'll switch over to Luthor. Alright. Where we left off last time, Craith and Dryden are hiding behind a screen that's kind of in a little, not necessarily a full room, but kind of like a little nook where Zosia had some idols to Melitele, and so her little prayer shrine. While she was doing that, you were intending to essentially lure Sir Jaromir into the room and essentially make it look like he was either trying to fornicate or fornicate with force. Um, and instead, he came in and threatened the very attractive maid and told her to dump a vial into Sir Luthor's drink on the next day, and he essentially had her, he had a hold of her, and she agreed, which is clearly she did it just, so she didn't get injured or hurt. Um, and so he has departed. It was pretty quiet, so there was no like big commotion as you expected there would be, right, in a different circumstance. So it leaves Craith and Dryden behind the screen moments after Jaromir left. Sir Luther is currently upstairs in his room waiting to hear something that would provoke him to come down the stairs and help intervene. And I'll let you guys have at it.
Okay, so as soon as the door has been closed for a couple of beats and Dryden has heard um, Yarmir walking down the hall and away, he waits for the footsteps to become quieter until he doesn't hear anything else outside of the door. Once it's quiet, sufficiently quiet, Dryden first just steps to the side and looks out from the side of the screen and tries to catch eyes with Zosia and looks around the room just to make sure there's no one else in there. And as soon as Dryden is satisfied that the room is empty of Yarimer's men or himself, he walks out from behind the screen and just cluck, 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 on the wooden floor, walks across it straight up to Zosia and just puts his hands out. Give it to me.
Yes. She immediately hands over this vial with a. It's probably not even as long as your palm is high, and so it's a pretty small thing. There's not even inside the small vial. There's not a ton of liquid. It is you can see it is kind of a amberish color. It would you think that it would completely be unnoticeable, at least by sight, in something like an ale, something with a brown color, particularly. You don't know if that's on purpose, but that is the case.
Okay, and then Dryden will uh, take the cap or whatever it is that's sealing it.
It's
He'll
like a little
open
cork.
it. Yep, and he'll smell it, and then he'll kind of tip it over onto his pinky and taste it just a little bit with his ability to withstand poisons and his history with concoctions. He know that he's safe from poison, so he just wants to see if he knows what this is.
Let's do. Okay. All right. So you are immune to all sicknesses, diseases, and poisons. You have immune. So very cool. So you give me a. What do you think? Give me a perception skill check.
Okay. And perception is under mental.
It is. Now, you do have 3 fate points, and you could spend one.
Yeah, you know what? Let me spend one. Actually, that's a good idea.
So let me.
Where the hell is perception?
Perception is under senses.
Senses. That's what I'm looking for.
So
Okay.
give yourself a benefit then. Um, oh boy, I'm getting tons of errors. What did I do? No, no, stop. Yeah, just go ahead and give yourself a benefit when you roll, and fiddling with your fate pool right now.
Okay, and difficulty.
Just put challenging, it's fine.
Okay.
I want to see just how good you do. Okay. Why doesn't it change it? Current value 2. Maximum value. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Anyway, yeah, you do succeed. Um, and it is odorless. But you do recognize this poison. You have seen it used before, and it is called uh, the sweet sleep. Basically, you drink it, and then when you go to bed, you never wake up. It doesn't take much to kill someone. Just the small little dose that you just took, like barely a drop, would probably significantly. It would kill someone who was not an adult, and for an adult, it probably would make them sleep for days. But the sweet sleep will, if you take enough of it, will stop your heart. Otherwise, it puts you in like a coma-like state.
Okay, so Dryden, he has his pinky up to his mouth. He tastes it. He kind of smacks his lips a little bit. He recorks the vial, and with his left hand, he just holds it behind him towards Craith, without turning and looking. He just holds it out towards Craith, as if motioning for him to take it, and he continues looking straight at Zosha. You will not say anything of this. We were not here. You did not see us,
Oh,
and we did not take this poison from you.
oh, what happens when uh, he comes back and I haven't done it?
You won't need to worry about him. We will take care of him.
Okay. She looks between Craith and Dryden.
Craith
And that's
kind of
when
takes the draft and plugs the bottle up, and he kind of plugs his nose a little bit as if the humors of the air are ill favored indeed. He kind of uh, looks at the woman. Do not worry, no harm will come to you. We are certainly not scoundrels. At least I am not. And we
Just
have a plan. At least the Witcher does.
okay. That's yes. Please just make sure he doesn't come back for me. I I did everything you wanted me to.
I
Yeah,
suppose for all he knows, this poison could be administered.
Well, eventually he will know. It has not when Sir wakes up and does not die.
well, we will not allow it to get that far. You will not be aware of whether or not Sir Luther wakes up.
Okay. Yes, that sounds good.
You go about your job and act as if nothing has happened.
But,
Do you understand me?
yeah, that's why I'm gonna stay in my room. Can you please leave then?
And Dryden, he glances over at Craith, makes sure that he's, tucking that poison away, and turns to walk out the door.
Yeah, Craith tucks the poison, somewhere indiscreet.
Yeah, you would have a pocket or something. Yeah, and you open the door, walk out.
Excuse me.
You do not see anyone. The inn is closed up for the night. No one's downstairs. Even the knight and if he had people with him, they are not there. They're gone. Switching over to Sir Luther, you have been. What have you been doing? Well, you've been waiting probably for, a while, for this hours probably. What have you been doing? Have you slept? Actually, yeah. Why don't you explain kind of what you would have been doing, and I have an idea after that.
Yeah, so I think Carthis, he would have tried to keep himself busy, um, just any kind of idle thoughts to keep himself awake, or considering because the marriage ceremony is taking place tomorrow, so he's thinking about, what they might have to do even with this circumstance if this circumstance falls through what they're trying to create, because he's still under the impression that they're going to catch this guy trying to wench. So he's like thinking, well, what if this doesn't work? He's a lot of his mind is either towards the battle he expects to come tonight, or if this doesn't happen, what will tomorrow look like?
Yeah.
So he's just distracting himself basically with those thoughts until he hears something that strikes him.
I would like if you so you're just kind of sitting there. I want this is huh. Give me a psyche skill check. Make it hard. I know you're not trained. Um, yeah. That should be under which one? Senses, yeah. So,
Gulp.
as you're sitting there, pretty much probably by candlelight, um, nothing happening your mind begins to wander. You're trying to think of the day tomorrow and what's going to happen and all your possible situations that you might be put in, from combat to skullduggery, whatever. And you just start to lose focus after a while, sort of like just your mind wandering, but it's wandering to like thinking back to the forest and Brokalan and your last dream that you had. For some reason, it's just like coming back to you more and more, more and more. And you have these pictures of Ayla walking through this forest looking for her lost love, and she comes upon a giant tree, and you look up into the tree, and there's essentially huts built into the tree like homes. um, this massive elven kind of concoction where the tree weaves in through the actually buildings that are created by thickets and other kind of natural building materials. And you see kind of your consciousness like flips, and no longer are you there, but you're looking inside, a one of those homes, you assume, and you see this handsome, beautiful elf sitting um, kind of behind this large wooden table that has all these runes engraved in the top of it. And you look down and you see your hands. You're pretty sure it's you, and you're walking. You see, your boots, what you would consider yourself. You walk up to the table and you look down, and then you see your hands and blood is running from your wrist into those runes, spreading out everywhere, and you just suddenly go black. And then in a few you don't know, but then you wake up. You've fallen asleep. You were sitting on the bed, and now you kind of you know, sit up straight after this dream. You're covered in sweat, and you can react how you like.
I think he looks around the room in a frenzy, seeing where he is, assuming he is back where he was before he went to sleep. Again, he's been in the armor for so long, he hasn't taken it off because he can't. He has to maintain appearances. He knows he doesn't look like Luther. So Carthis takes off the helmet real quickly while he's by himself, and he just... I don't know if there's a wash basin in the room or something. He will go over and splash water in his face. Otherwise, he will just take whatever piece of cloth and wipe the sweat away and just kind of hold his head in his hands.
Yeah, so what I would like to do, this is temporary because it's more of kind of a GM fiat thing. I'm going to give you the flaw haunted just for now. It can definitely come off. Is it in here? Okay, so I've put that on your character sheet. So whenever you have a memory about something, you are subjected to a rank 3 mental hazard resisted by fortitude. So I would like you to roll a rank 3 hazard. So what you need to do, or I roll it, I'm sorry, I roll the hazard. Let me see. This is kind of something that, I'm going to add it to your character sheet. Rank 3 hazard. Display as hazard. One sec, let's see. Mental haunted. BAV. What does that mean? So I'm looking on your character sheet. It's all the way at the bottom of hazards. I think this is just a marker to know. Okay, so it's there. So I'm going to roll a rank 3 hazard. So rank 3 mental hazard is I'm going to roll 5 d10 keep 3. And then 5 d10 keep 3. Is this going to work? Did it work? Let me see. It did work. There was exploding dice, so hold on. Okay, so not great. It's not 24 though. 18. Oh, it is. Okay. So 31 you have to beat with a fortitude skill check.
So fortitude.
Yep.
Okay. Easy.
So you are able to push off the effects, even though it bothers you. You're just, you don't. It's not hurting you too bad, right?
It is a large portion of water in an already rather large bucket of trauma for Sir Carthis over the last few years.
That makes absolute sense. So you do realize that some time has passed. The candle maybe is burning down more than you would have thought. You're unsure if there was any kind of ruckus. You definitely didn't hear one, but you realize kind of in your current state, maybe you didn't hear it. Maybe you slept through it, something. You're not sure.
He puts his helmet back on, and he's waited too long. He thinks at this point there should have been something. So he puts his helmet back on, and he will he will. Is there a window in this room?
There is.
Um, I'm assuming that I shuttered it because I wouldn't want people to look
That's up to
in
you.
and
Yeah.
see me. So I'll pull one of the shutters back and see if I can just try to get a sense of the moon behind the sky, what time of day it is,
Yeah, I
like what
would
time of
say
night it
you
might
think
be.
at least before an hour to 2 hours you think has passed probably. So it hasn't been too long, but definitely long enough where you think probably you should have heard something by now. Because that would put it like at probably like 1 a.m. if we're.
Gotcha. I think he will. I mean, as quietly as he can, but he'll slip out and see if he can if he sees Craith or Dryden anywhere.
Actually, you do. As you look out into the hallway, you kind of notice you hear something like footsteps, and then all of a sudden there's a pause. Nothing happens, and then you see those two come out of Zosia's room, and I can switch the scene. It would be this one, I think. But yeah, you see them in the kind of in the main part of the tavern, and there's nobody else in there. It's dark. There's no. You're basically seeing them through like ambient light from outside. There's no actual lights on inside, so.
Yeah, I mean, he waves. If seeing them, he'll wave them over. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Do we see him then
Yeah,
also?
you see him. You hear the creak of the stairs as he kind of leans over the banister to look at you. You guys make, as good of eye contact as you can, and yeah, you see each other.
Yeah, as soon as we see him and make eye contact, Dryden immediately puts his hand out as if to say, "Stop." He puts his hand out and then brings his index finger up to his lips to say, "Stop, be quiet," and makes his way straight to Sir Luther as quickly and as quietly as he can.
Yeah, I mean, you
And, it's,
you kind of walk up the steps towards him. Yeah.
I'm walking up the steps, holding onto the banister, making my way around. As soon as I get up to him, I lean in and whisper into his ear. His intent is to kill you. He wants to poison you. We must be careful. We must be safe from here on out. You are not safe.
Let us speak more of this in the room. And he lead them back to the space that they're in,
Yeah,
where we're
Dryden
set.
follows, Luther and looks back to make sure Craith is also there.
Yeah, Craith kind of ushers them forth into the room, and this heavy oak door creaks and clacks behind them, and he kind of comes in. And once he's clear that there's no prying ears or eyes, he brings forth this flask from underneath a sash at his waist. This diminutive poison, this flask here it was meant for you, my friend, and it meant to put you down for quite a long time. The Witcher here can explain more.
And yeah, Dryden will look over at him, look at the flask. It's a poison. He gave it to the barmaid. She was to put it in your drink tomorrow at the wedding. It is the final sleep. That's what I have heard it called before. It goes by a few different names. In any case, you are to drink it, and then when you go to bed that night, you are not to wake up in the morning. It is supposed to be your final sleep. You look as if though you passed simply, calmly, in your bed. No nefarious doing, no murder. You just dead, and no one can be blamed. It looks natural. He wants you dead. You are not safe here.
So he He intends to kill Sir Luther, then. That would be his goal. Skullduggery, underhandedness. And he gets up and paces a bit. Carthis, in kind of a dark mood already, he pauses as he's pacing, and since he's among friends, he takes off the helmet. It's hot, and he rubs his head. I have a dark thought that I must bring up to the two of you. What if we used Jaromir's poison against him?
Yeah, while he's talking and suggesting that, Dryden is looking out the window in the room, just glancing around, making sure that there's no one nearby, that they're not being spied on, that who they think is, Sir Luther is being watched. So Dryden's, being overly cautious as he glances out the window while Carthis is suggesting we use the poison.
Yeah, you don't see anything. Nothing out of the ordinary. You see the lights of the town kind of from various lamps and candles, but most of Mova's pretty dark because most people are not awake, and it's kind of cloudy out, so it's pretty dark out there. They wouldn't be able to see. They probably wouldn't be able to see you anyway.
Yeah. Dryden turns back to him. If you choose to poison him, I do not blame you for that. I would not fault you for that. Although my choice, of course, would be to run a sword through him. But I understand if you would choose to use his own poison against him, that would be justice for his suggestion to even do that to you. My goal is to find someone else. But if you were to do that, you would have my support.
It's not in my nature, I don't think, to normally consider these kind of things. I prefer your method. A man trying to poison me, I would prefer to meet him on the field of battle. Let the skill at arms decide honor. Who is right, who is wrong. But we're in a dangerous position here, a difficult mission. And I also think of what we were sent to do here by Sir Luther. I mean, we are going to break up this marriage. Taking this bride away, of course, is a step in that. But what if we could go a step further? What if we could remove any possibility of outside interference here? I mean, not only for this bride to go missing from this wedding, but also for the son that was meant to marry her to pass away under mysterious circumstances in this place which is supposed to be safe for him. It would create ill favor towards the Lord here. Perhaps that would help bring the conflict to a close sooner, wouldn't it?
I see the wisdom in what you are saying. I understand where you are coming from, Sir Carthis. And I think partly, yes, you are correct. Also, what would Sir Luther do? He has sent someone in his stead, in disguise. He is not above trickery. He is not above underhandedness. I think Sir Luther himself would be okay with poisoning this man. If it helps us accomplish our goals, his goals, my goals, I am not beyond it myself.
What do you think, Craith?
Yeah, Carthis was just about to ask, yeah. Craith, what are your thoughts? I would hear your words. You have a keen mind.
Bo.
Silence, good choice.
Bo.
Did he fall asleep?
Oh no.
Bo. 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 I wonder if he's. Oh, he just. Oh, he's fixing something. There's something wrong.
Okay.
He is awake. He is sending
Like,
messages.
I don't know.
Okay.
On a river all day, sun and beer.
Oh
Doc
no.
knows all about the falling asleep at the gaming table online. Come
Oh
on, he
no.
when you're expert. It was working so well. He was so clear earlier.
Yeah. Pride cometh before the fall,
Yeah.
or something.
Try
You just have
to
to.
log off and log on, back on.
You just have to edit these like 3 minutes out.
Yeah, I don't even bother. Nobody watches
You don't bother
these.
editing
No,
anymore.
no, I don't do anything. I don't even put an intro on them anymore.
If I didn't think he had a bunch of guards around him, I'd sneak into his room and just force that poison down his throat right now.
Eek.
Hey, Doc, go in your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Go to all items. Do you
Oh,
see
items? Yep.
you see pool and the item
Yep.
creation port? Uh, is it highlighted green or no?
It is.
Okay, so down, do you see where it says fate points down at the bottom?
I do.
Can you that second? So it looks like there's a 3 and a 3, and then one looks like it's selectable. Do you see that
Uh-huh.
that part? Can you change that to a 2 and see if it works for you?
Okay.
And then just click out of it.
It keeps going back to 3.
It does. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
if you click on it and open it, just where it says fate points, just pretty
Okay.
much it should bring up a dialog box. Do you see that? Did it open for you?
Yeah. Change current value to 2.
Yeah, correct. See if it works.
Keeps jumping back to 3 every time I do.
Yeah, okay. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, but yeah, just you don't have to worry about it. It's because it's popping up errors. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know what's wrong with it, but because it says like player. I don't understand. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I just took a sip of La Croix and my lip has a hole and it just spilled all over my shirt.
Oh no. He has returned.
I heard
Yeah.
something.
He is risen.
All right, there we go.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what happened, man. Sorry about that. Yeah,
You're all right.
I was talking to myself for a while there.
Yeah, no, you're good. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
ask you basically what your thoughts are.
Yeah, Craith kind of holds the vial up to the light, and the torch light glints off of it, playing into his eyes. He says, "Perhaps this is some middle way. Less violence, but if our Lord is not above guile, perhaps we should not be as well. What is the one thing we know? We know that this poison is intended to be used against no more than our Sir Luthor. Perhaps we use that to our advantage. He passes away. We somehow use that trickery to our advantage, and then spring the trap. Otherwise, we're going to have to rely on someone to murder a lord.
And Dryden raises an eyebrow and looks over at Craith. I am not above murdering a man just because of his station in life. That does not protect him. That protects no man, low or high. All men are mortal. All men will die. And what is more violent? That he die by my sword? Or he die asleep in his bed, peacefully, not to awaken again, in a way that sounds no alarm and causes no worry to anyone else.
And suppose I am like the others. I would at least prepare to look my foe in the eye ere his end. But you are right, this way is without worry and is without alarm. Indeed. A death in bed is a death that raises no worry.
It is better than he deserves.
We'll have to find a way to get this to him then. In the morning in his drink, perhaps, or if he is in his cups tonight, one of the two.
Well, we'll see what opportunities present themselves. It may not matter in the end. Because no matter what, that wedding is not going to take place tomorrow. He may put up a fight and die doing so anyhow. He may not make it to his bed. We'll see.
Can I do like a custom roll or knowledge roll to see? Is there any like custom, like at a wedding that would allow? Is there any like drinking of wine or sharing of? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can give me a knowledge roll. Lore, specifically.
Right. Let me see if I can figure out.
You're not so good at it, but
Yeah.
challenging would be fine. You don't have to do anything. It's
Lore.
possible. You gotta get rolled 2 10s basically. I think.
Lore difficulty challenging. Negative.
Yeah, you are not. I mean, it's been a long time since you've seen a noble wedding, and sometimes, depending on what deity they are worshiping in the area, the customs can be different, and Melitala is not something you're really familiar with, the details.
Yeah, Craith just explains to the group that he's not aware of any time that they would be able to slip. I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name. The drink.
Jaromir. It's Jaromir.
Yep. Let's say Jaromir.
Yeah, Dryden just thinks on that for a moment. Well, I'm sure the wench will still do it if we make her. She was going to do it to you, Sir Carthis. I'm sure we could persuade her to add this vial to Jaromir's drink.
He would be none the wiser. He would be in his cups. Why would he expect her to? Right. And Sir Carthis, he scratches his forehead and pinches it, and he nods. I think we should. I think we should do it. I think that it would maybe bring this whole conflict closer to an end. And it cannot hurt what we are here to do in terms of the bride. I think we should.
And Dryden, he's adjusting, one of the belts across his chest and just kind of arranging things, and he looks up at that. And like I said, it may not matter anyways. Either he's gonna fight and die for his bride, or he will die in his sleep. Either way, we know tomorrow Jaromir will be dead.
So I guess the question is, do we move tonight? Or do we surrender ourselves to an evening's sleep? Something we haven't enjoyed in I don't know how long.
Yeah, you're not sure where Jaromir would even be at this point. I think finding him and administering the poison in the middle of the night is kind of probably impossible.
Yes, it's probably like, it's probably like 1 in the morning, right?
Well, and he's probably in the castle.
Yeah, he's not here. That's for sure. Yeah.
We have to wait until the wedding anyhow. So yeah, Dryden will look at the two of them and kind of give an abrupt, curt, head nod forward. Very well then. We shall meet again here in the morning, prior to the wedding. Then we will follow Sir Luther in as his retinue.
Yeah,
and then
the,
from there
the
we will
arrangements that they gave you is Sir Luther has his own room and you and Craith they're sharing one.
And
yeah, go ahead.
We'll follow Sir Luther in. And then once we are inside, we can quickly look at our surroundings, make our plans, and go from there.
Yeah, so
Reconvene.
unless you have anything else to do the night, we can move forward. You just let me know. Or if you have any more roleplay, go ahead.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
What'd you say, Bo?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Night passes, and you do hear some, the sounds of stuff getting ready downstairs. So you each wake up in different rooms about the same time as light starts kind of coming through the window. So it's probably, 7 a.m. we'll say. And downstairs you hear plates clattering and some people talking. There's probably some people that have come in already to break their fast and whatnot. And so the new day is here, and what do you like to do?
Dryden gets up early, and as soon as the sun is up, he is down in the tavern area here, looking for food. He's sitting at this table here, and he's sitting there just, waiting to be approached by Zosha, and waiting for food, waiting for the other two, for Craith and Sir Carthis, to come down as well.
Before they get there, actually, you are waiting for Zosa, and she doesn't come over. Instead, Frantic comes over. You've not really you talked to him briefly when he got you an ale earlier yesterday. He says, "Oh, hello, Witcher. What can we get for you? We have some bread and bacon, ale,
bread, bacon, and ale." Will all do. Thank you very much, barkeep. That's a good start to my day.
Ah, yes. The bacon always fills my tummy, and he slaps his belly. About that time, Craith and Sir Luther can come down if you want.
Sir Luther, go ahead.
Yeah, Sir Luther comes down, is grateful for the helmet and everything because he knows he looks like shit. He feels like shit. Uh, Probably restless sleep after more or less having a 2 hour nap that was fitful and a very stressful evening altogether of having to pretend to be someone he is not. Um, and comes down the stairs, of course, appearing stoic in the plate helmet, but underneath he is grim as he goes to pull up a seat next to Dryden.
Yeah, Frennick looks over to the knight and says, "Oh, sir, if you wish, I could store your helm piece. Would be more comfortable, I would think, and you can eat and drink and be merry like the rest. I bet you the wedding party will be here soon. At least the grooms. They said they were going to come back and give us plenty of business this morning."
So Luther holds his hand out in like a gesture of no thank you. No, I would prefer to keep my helmet. This is perhaps not the friendliest territory for me.
But if you say so. Uh, do you, would you gents like bacon, bread, ale?
Ale and bread, please.
No bacon?
Not this morning, sir.
Ah, I see. Craith, what do you want bacon, bread, and ale?
Yeah. Crate's kind
Doesn't.
of coming down. He's coming down the stairs as he kind of is behind Sir Luther, quote unquote, and sees how he's kind of
Uh-oh. You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, is that still there?
Yep, good.
Yep, he's done his best to kind of clean himself up overnight, and he actually has this kind of sash coming down across his tunic. These like two doves on a field of blue. It's it's like a very humble attempt at putting on his finery, and maybe his chainmail is a little more polished than normal. And he comes down and says, "Bacon? Of course. Why would I not want bacon?
I don't know. Ask
We
your
have a wedding
friend.
today."
Never known a man that doesn't want bacon. I fry it special, sir. I promise.
Each to his own, I suppose. Some say a pig is an unclean animal, but in my
Not when
opinion, they
it's
are.
dipped in lard.
Of course. And how tasty.
He smiles and says, "I'll be back with your bacon and your ale and your bread." And he kind of waddles off back to the bar. Zosia seems to be keeping herself busy over there away from everyone. That's pretty clear.
Yeah, and as soon as Craith comes in and sits down, has a little interaction with the barkeeper, Dryden leans over the table towards Craith and kind of reaches out and flicks his mail a little bit. Shiny. Looks like you got fancy for this day, did you? And he kind of chuckles a little bit and gives him a wry smile as much as he can, just kind of needling him for, trying to appear good.
Fancy.
How many how many weddings have you been to, Witcher? I dare say I've been to a mite many more than you, and certainly had fairer dates. Maiden on each arm. It was not unheard of in Sintra back in my day. Perhaps those day will come again if coin would but grace my pockets. This would be a good start, Witcher.
Well, I believe you, Craith. I will have to take your advice. The next wedding I get invited to, I will make sure to polish my armor.
You do have a point. Though it did polish my armor, I do not think we were technically invited to this wedding. If technically you could count killing the groom or otherwise bringing it to a disastrous end part of an invitation, which I do not think it is. Has your night's sleep brought any good ideas to you, either of you? Mine was more fit and restless than anything else.
Yeah, Dryden looks over at Sir Carthis when Craith says that to see how his night went. Dryden just kind of shrugs off the question as far as how his sleep went, and looks for Sir Carthis' answer.
Yeah, his mind is elsewhere for a moment, and he realizes that he's being spoken to. I slept well enough. Times are trying at this particular junction. What do we know if we will see Jaromir again here, or
You
an opportunity?
You actually, you say that, and almost immediately somebody opens the door from the outside, and they're kind of loud and boisterous. There's a couple men in front of who you recognize instantly as Jaromir walking in. He's, he's dressed moderately, not like he's probably going to change before the wedding, you assume. He is not shaved yet. And he looks kind of like he might have been up for a while already. He kind of slowly walks through the bar, and he's got an arm over one guy, and they're laughing. And he looks over at Zosia and just abruptly sticks his tongue out at her and like goes, does one of those. And she frowns deeply and takes a step back, and you see Frantic also frown, but they're all laughing as they kind of saunter over to this table past you.
After they pass, Carthis looks at the other two, and I suppose that answers my question. I think that this is as good as an opportunity as we will get. We should get Zosia to come over here. She is to deliver their drinks.
Yeah, and as soon as they walked in, Dryden, when the door opened and people from the outside were coming in, instinctively just went to grab his hood and pull it up over his head, and kind of just tucked his head down again, just like the last time Jaromir and his men were in there.
Yeah, they don't pay you much mind. You're not even sure if they noticed you. Bless me. Sorry.
Who has the best relationship with the probably the Witcher? You, eh?
With the girl?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
The one who slapped me and the one who stared down last night and stuck the poison. I think she's afraid of me.
we have to get her attention somehow to come up with this brilliant idea.
It's very clear she is avoiding you. Okay, so in a few minutes, who comes back over to bring your ales, bread, and bacon is Frantic again. Here you go. He kind of has a big plate, big serving plate, and he kind of puts it down, and he starts kind of passing out the ales to each person, and the the bacon and the bread to Dryden and Craith, and just the a half of loaf of bread to Sir Luther. He says, "Oh, that'll be, let's see, how about 5 coppers each? Oh, 4 for you, sir."
Carthis just pulls some money out and hands it to him, presuming we have.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he'll pay for everyone.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Is there anything else you be needing?
I would like to have a word with your serving wench. Send her, please.
Must say she's acting a bit strange. Ask me to wait on you and the master over there, and he kind of nods to Jaromir, who's already got a cup in his hand. I believe she's not feeling very well today. Might send her to bed. I can probably handle it until the wedding. There'll be nobody here.
I appreciate your explanation. You may send her over now.
Okay. He just walks around the bar, and you see them like going back and forth, and he's just like super animated, and eventually he just like points his finger towards your table, and she, with a huff, walks around and finally comes over and is like, "What do you need me to do? I've done everything you've asked. Please just leave me alone."
Keep your voice down, please. And Carthis cuts a look at her, like, under the plate mail. And I look to Dryden and hold out my hand. Dryden has the is it Dryden or Craith that has
I think
the
Craith
vial?
has it.
Okay, I was Craith then. Retcon.
Yeah, Craith just like gives it to him, flacks it into his palm.
Oh,
And
goodness.
I look at, oh God, Carthis feels terrible doing this, but he has to. I look at Zosia and you said you'd be willing to do a service. I think you know what you have to do. And I hand her the vial.
She reaches out, and her hand is trembling as she takes it. And she says,
Do this and not a word.
"If I get caught, they'll hang me, or worse."
Say not a word, say nothing. Do not mention this again. You know what I would ask to do. No words pass between us. It will be an unfortunate thing that happens to that man, and you will have no part in it, and neither will I, but it will happen. Silence is key. Do you understand?
Can you give me a go ahead and give me a persuasion skill check. No difficulty. Yeah, just don't add a difficulty in there.
Fate's back now, right?
It is back. Let's see if it is all filled up for you. Let me. I've just been having trouble setting the pools. Minimum value 0. Okay. Yeah, you should. Okay, yeah, go. You can use one. So that would be one benefit, right?
Yeah, one benefit.
Oh man, I don't. It just like it really doesn't like.
Me.
No, it's me. Yeah. Hold on. Oh my gosh, it's going crazy right now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. She's going to roll probably fortitude. Yeah, I don't think she can even pass this, but I'll roll it. I'm just gonna assume she has will of 2 and fortitude of 0, which is impossible for her to meet this, but What are you talking about? Okay, there we go. Yeah. So she just takes it from you and kind of hangs her head, and she doesn't even say anything. She goes. You see her go back to the bar. She pours an ale, and she kind of, whatever she does, she puts it down kind of below the bar top, so you can't really see it. And then in a couple minutes later, or not minutes, probably 20 seconds later, she looks at the wall. You see her take a big deep breath, and then she turns around and walks over to Jaromir. Um, she talks to him for a moment. He's drinking out of his old cup, and she sits the mug down next to him. He kind of like whispers a couple things into her ear. Then he clearly grabs her ass before she walks back to the bar, and he's still drinking the old mug as you sit there and wait. He's still going on it, so you don't know how much he's got left. But the one that is presumably poisoned is sitting right next to him.
Yeah, and Carthis, again, grateful for the helmet because his stomach is tied up in knots because not only has he, presuming this works, he's condemned a man to death, though he was not a noble man. It is underhanded for him, but he's also knowingly put an innocent woman at risk, and so he is in hell. And he turns and looks at the other two, and let's enjoy our breakfast, shall we? While we wait. And he very quietly begins to eat his bread.
Yeah, and Dryden. Go ahead.
You go ahead. Nope, you go.
Yeah, and Dryden, he takes a bite of his bacon, and he picks up his mug of ale. He spins around on the stool that he's sitting in, and he stands up, raising the mug above his head, and he looks over at Jaromir, and he raises his mug. And to you, the groom to be, and Dryden sways a little bit to look like he's just a little intoxicated. To the groom to be, may this wedding and this life be everything you deserve. And then he waves the mug to the other two soldiers and spins it around and, like cheers the barkeep and Zosha, and just swigs what's remaining in his cup of ale, and just in an attempt to try and get Jaromir to finish one cup so we can start on the next.
Why don't you give me a rhetoric skill check? I'll actually make it possible. Go ahead and give me an acting skill check instead.
Difficulty?
I'll let him oppose it. So just don't add a difficulty.
Okay. In that case, can I use a fate?
Yeah, this would be your last fate for the session.
Oh, I had 3 fate. I used 1, right?
So yeah, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you would have 1 left after this. Yep.
Okay.
I thought you had 2. Sorry. Okay, so that's so you rolled an 11. Yeah. All right, so.
Oh, because I had the.
Yeah, if you put the difficulty in there, it'll subtract from it. So, so he's just gonna do it opposed because he has stats, which is nice. He's got to beat an 11. He most certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of gives you the nod and like waves his cup into the air, and then he turns and he says something to the guys in front of him. And they all start laughing, and he doesn't pay you any mind after that. Um, about you guys are eating. It takes a while. Now all of a sudden the door creaks open. There's been people coming and going. Getting ready um, for the wedding, partying. A couple more guys go over to Yarmir's table and are talking to him, and so he's actually engaged in conversation and not just like pounding. You notice, but in comes a guy that he doesn't really fit the whatever everybody else looks like. He's basically an older fella. Um, he has the colors of this house, which you've kind of caught on to by the banners and what the Brugian knights or soldiers were wearing. So he has kind of a robe, and he has the very typical dragon sigil on his chest. He's wearing red and green. He's got like a little red hat, and he says, "Ah, Sir Luther, is that you? My name is Seneschal Rez, and I have been sent from his lordship. May I treat with you a moment?"
You may. And Luther gestures for someone to make space for the Seneschal to sit with them.
Yeah,
That's what he intends to do.
Dryden immediately gets up and walks over towards the bar.
Yep. Yeah, he
Yeah,
kind
so
of
it
takes your
Craith.
place.
Yep.
No, go ahead, Bo.
Yep. Yeah, he does the same. Like gets up and would make probably a little private space, honestly, for them to speak, and he would step away,
Yeah.
out of earshot, and also keep an eye on that mug of ale sitting next to Lord.
Yep. And Rez says, thank you, sir. And he does sit down. And he says, I hope I did not interrupt your breaking of the fast this morning.
No, we're having a light breakfast before we look about town. What is it that you require of me, Seneschal?
The Lord, Lord Vladimir von Verkus, invites you this morning to speak to him in his solar. You may bring your retinue for your own protection and safety. They may remain armed. We are at peace, and we wish you no ill will.
I see. Is there a specific time that the lordship wished to see me, or at my convenience?
Now would be wonderful. He has much to do, as you might expect.
Very well. We will finish our breakfast and head over to him presently. We are nearly finished.
Very well. I will meet you at the entrance to the walls, the castle. Good day. I will see you soon.
You as well.
And he gets up and takes off.
Motion for Dryden to rejoin us. The two of you to rejoin me.
Yeah, Dryden makes his way back over.
As does Craith.
We have a way into the castle, maybe of value to us. He kind of leans forward. At the same time, I wish to know whether or not this was successful. Perhaps, Witcher, I know that you said you had some personal business with this bride. Perhaps, Craith, you could finish your breakfast a bit more slowly and ensure that our friend has his drink. Dryden and I will head up to the meeting.
I can do my best there. I'll have him sipping that ale one way or another.
You're a clever fellow. I am certain that you can ensure it happens, and then we can try to reconvene. But be ready. If there is an opportunity, we may try to get the bride now.
Dryden nods, at that comment. And then before standing up, he kind of leans over the table towards Craith a little bit. Maybe you could engage him about proper wedding etiquette and style. I'm sure he's very interested. And Dryden stands up and starts to walk out.
Man, a witcher making fun of your clothes.
He looks down at his finery, this sash across his mail. He just he stands up and he says, "I think it looks nice."
My mom said it was great.
Starts to walk over to Lord Marquand with a bowl cut.
All right. Let's see. How do I do this? Let's switch scenes real quick. Give me 1 sec. Gotta split the party. Damn you.
How am I supposed to get this guy to do this? I'm not a underhand type of fellow.
Buddy.
You're a clever, charming fellow. Like,
I mean, he might
spend
do
some
it
time
himself,
with the
who knows?
homies. Yeah, this could be an active job. This could be a passive job. Engagement.
Okay, let's switch the scene real quick. So you are taken in. If there's anything if I'm fast forwarding too much, just stop me. But the seneschal, as you get there, would thank you for your attendance, and he would walk you through. There's basically a. Let's see, do I have a picture of the castle? I think I do actually. Maybe not. I thought I did. Oh yeah, here. So yeah, you come through. Let me fix that lighting. So basically, you come up through here, and there's a kind of like a stair ramp that heads in through this area. Basically, when you come up through this area, you come under this tower. You go through the tower. There's guards on each side. They let you through. You can definitely see there's a small portcullis they can shut there. And you see it kind of continues that way with these basically boxed in almost tunnels that come up. Probably would be very easy to defend. You would think this is actually it's a small castle, but it's quite well made. Particularly, probably Sir Luther would have a good idea. Do you have warfare? Regardless, it's probably something that you would see and notice. And then finally, you get to two main double doors, which are already pulled open. And you are immediately kind of pulled through or not pulled through, but taken through this very nice castle. There's lots of banners, a lot of this dragon sigil, this golden dragon. And there are lots of reds and greens, and it looks quite lavish. Very different from Sir Luthor's tower, basically. So this is an impressive castle for sure. You go up the stairs and probably two levels, and then you kind of make your way through this hall. You're kind of discombobulated, but you're taken into another set of double doors, which are closed. The seneschal knocks, and the doors are pulled open, and inside. There is a guard here, so you just put him on there in case it's necessary. There's a guard. He opens the door. There's this older man, as you see here. He is perhaps in his 60s, with a medium beard. His hair is white, streaked with dark, like black hair, and he has a stern look as you come in. He looks up from his table, sees Sir Luther and a Witcher, and he looks between the two of you and says, "Ha! A Witcher. That is good protection."
Yeah, and as soon as they walked in, Dryden would have just taken a spot standing next to the guard, letting Sir Luther take a seat at the table there, and Dryden would just stand back. And when Von Berkus there acknowledges Dryden, he'll simply just kind of nod in his direction in acknowledgement, but say nothing.
Sir Luther will walk in and stand across, not having... thinking that from an etiquette perspective he has not been asked to sit, and so he stands there. Good protection can be hard to find in these times.
Yes, that is true. That is true. You must have been very concerned that I might attempt to end your life.
The thought had crossed my mind.
Well, I do admire your bravery and fortitude for coming. Please sit.
And he has a seat.
He says, "Is it customary to keep your helm on where you come from while we speak? I would very much like to see your face. I would like to know the man that I have been fighting against for years now."
You need not see my face to know me. And while we speak friendly now, we will be enemies again eventually. Who can say when that eventually comes? When I return home, on the road, or here in this room? I prefer to be prepared.
I'm unarmed. You have your arms, and so does your Witcher, and I have one guard. I would bet on you if I was a betting man. What can I do to you? Come, let us talk like civilized folk.
We are speaking civilly at this moment.
Very well. I was hoping that you would show some nobility in that common blood of yours, but I guess not.
You wanted to treat with me?
I wanted to speak to you. Yes. How do you find Brodug so far? Do you like my castle and my lands?
I will admit that there is a level of readiness in your castle guard that I can find respect for, with a few exceptions on the way in. What I can see, as far as your men-at-arms that man these walls, they are capable enough. There is a certain pride and dignity among them. The townsfolk are compliant. They do as they are asked, and they perform their tasks admirably for the most part.
I have a question for you, Sir Luther. I am glad you like it here, and I think that you are a brave man and a valiant warrior, a good leader of men as well. I have seen it on the battlefield, and my generals report that you are one of the finest warriors in Bruges. But your claim to our lands is very, very, extremely precarious. You have no noble right to these lands. I do. And so does our friend and I'm gonna have to look up his name. Bear with me. What's your name, guy? Why do I have to use Polish names for everything? Nope. That's not what I need to look at. Elstrick. As Elstrick does as well. So I wonder, perhaps you and I can come to some sort of an accord where we both benefit.
I will hear what you have to say.
Wonderful. I am a man of giving, and as you know, I am also a patriot. But here amongst us we have a very ill-born suitor for my daughter. Have you met Jaromir yet?
He is to be your son-in-law, I believe that to give you my estimation of him might turn you ill, though we are speaking plainly.
Then speak plainly.
I found him a braggart, a lout, and a cretin. But that is not why you wish him to be your son-in-law, if we are speaking plainly. You wish him to be your son-in-law because of what he brings to our disagreement over who has right to rule.
Yes, you are not incorrect. Anyone with even the most marginal political savvy would understand this. But I do also know that with Sauden's influence in Bruges, we are inviting in the wolf to the henhouse, are we not? A foreign power breeding into our royal families.
One must wonder, then, why if you see yourself as the farmer, you would open the door to the henhouse for the fox to come and eat your chickens.
You're right. It is only so that I can own the farm, which is my legal and moral right. But perhaps there is another way. Would you hear me out?
Go on.
You are young. You are virile. You are strong. You would potentially make a fine ally. And you would need me to legitimize your standing in our lands as the father of the heir of Bruges. Perhaps we will have a wedding today, but perhaps the groom will differ. Do you understand my meaning, sir?
Carthis is sweating bullets under his helmet. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Dryden's over there raising eyebrows.
You better not say yes. You better not say yes. Let's switch the scene.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, Craith. You are still with us?
I am still with you. What's Jaromir look like over there with his boys hanging out?
Would you say that you've intently been watching them, even when you guys were talking and...
Yeah, I think I certainly would, especially that
I
tankard.
think you probably would be giving it a good try. Give me one. Let's just, in case you absolutely, give me a mundane perception skill check. All you got to do is beat a 10.
Mundane.
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 mundane is a 10 difficulty for all power levels. So you did succeed, barely. And he has. You think the way he drank his last tankard, that he's finished it. His problem right now is there's a bunch of people talking to him, so he's not like really. It's like basically you get pretty drunk, and
Mm-hmm.
you kind of forget about drinking for a while. So he's like talking to people as that like tankard sits in front of him. So you don't think he's drank of it yet.
Mm. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna kind of mosey up next to him. This is about the time and he kind of looks up and he's like, I think my chainmail looks nice. It's polished. The stain will certainly come out with a little elbow. I shouldn't think what that witcher says. And he kind of walks up to the Jaromir. Hail there, Lord.
Oh, do I know you?
You most certainly do. At your service, Craith Everdale. We didn't meet on the yesterday. And he gives a bow with a.
We did meet or we didn't meet?
We most certainly did, although
Oh.
I do look more presentable now than I certainly did yesterday.
I do like your shirt.
Most do, thank you. I am from the south. It is of a family few know around here, and that is
I
on
know
purpose.
a lot about the heraldry. Let me look at that for a moment. Let me see if he knows it. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, you wish to come and, just, supplant yourself at my feet as the new lord of these lands, I take it?
I would not dare to say so much. I'm quite happy with Lord.
Valdemar.
Yeah, Lord Aldemir. But of course, one such as myself, a man of many talents, likes to keep his options open. So I dare say, where is that maid? I see you already have a tankard before you. As soon as she fetches one myself, I dare say we should raise a glass together.
Here, you can have mine. And he passes the tankard over to you and yells for the bar. Oh, one more, come on. Bring it to me now.
I certainly would not impose upon you, dear Lord, for this is your wedding day. You are the one that shall be partaking in beverage.
Well, this one is, it's a little warm, I think. You can, if you wish to do me a favor, you can drink it for me, huh? And he smacks you on the shoulder. I would like it a little bit more chilled, as we do in Sodden.
A chilled ale, most certainly. He actually takes a tiny sip of it. I dare say, how about we match? Drink for drink until a drink arrives.
You wish to drink? What?
Perhaps a bit of a contest, shall we? I'll let you drink me under the table. Look good in front of your men, no doubt.
I can't drink that much. I'm to be wed today, you fool. I must stay sober. Well, relatively sober. I have heard that my new bride is nubile. I will ravage her tonight, you know? Ha ha!
I suppose that's the case. I have to make sure the machinery will work. All the dangly bits dangle, and the parts that shoot, and the parts that, never mind. And he just thinks and looks around, really racking his brain what he can do to get this guy to drink this ale.
Yeah, Zosia finally comes over. Yes, can I help you? Bring me another ale. And she just rolls her eyes, goes back, gets one, comes back, sits it in front of Jaromir.
All right, I'm going to try to do a little switcheroo on there.
Okay, let's see
on the ales.
How are you going to do it? What are you going to do?
The next time he goes to... I'll probably try to boast or impose myself and say, well, I see if you're, if you're interested in my heraldry, I would regale you of the tale of the two doves in my house and the towers across the two rivers and the blah blah blah. And I start trying to fast talk him, and as soon
Yeah.
as he looks bored or looks his eyes stray away,
Yeah, he
I'll
looks
try
very
to
bored very quickly. Yes.
I'll try to pull the old
Um,
switcheroo. Let me
okay.
see what I can
Let me before you roll anything. That's going to be thievery. You have 0 in thievery. However, I just need to look at one thing about fate points. I'm pretty sure this is correct, but I need to just check. It's so funny. I have to look up my own rules. It's so dumb.
Could I use like telekinesis to like give me an edge?
Well, what I
Like
was thinking
kind
is,
of
so
like
you can,
slide them
I think
around.
you can spend a fate point. Yeah, so you can spend a fate point to make yourself trained. So
Okay.
basically, what would happen is you would roll thievery. You wouldn't get a rank in it, but if you roll a 10, it will explode. Um,
All right, I'll do that.
and
I'll do
what we'll
that.
do,
That-
we'll do like um, probably I'll do it against his. I'll do it against his perception. Yeah. Um, so if you want to roll thievery, you can. You can spend a fate point to make it train. So all you gotta do is just roll,
Yep.
and we'll see if you roll a 10 and worry about it then.
All right, here we
Maybe,
go.
maybe even get a benefit for your telekinesis.
I don't know how that would. That you could use
Yeah, that's fine.
you could use telekinesis or um, thievery. Now you
I
have
would
your
use telekinesis, but I
um,
think, I think it's more thematic for you to just try it this way first.
okay. Just
And it's
so
kind of see. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead and roll your thievery. Okay.
Hey,
It
not
says
bad.
okay. So 21 is not terrible. His perception is pretty good. I wanted this to work.
Any of them? Any of them explode?
No.
Nope.
You rolled a 3, 5, 7, 3, 3. Really quite
Did you
bad
already remove
actually.
the fate point, or I need to remove that?
I have not been. I don't know. Something's wrong with the pool. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
having issues with it. So I'm gonna roll perception. I'm gonna give him. How drunk is he? 2. He's very drunk. 2 hardships. I think that's fair. Okay. That did it. The hardships. Okay. Yeah. He's just, you know, he's looking around. As Zosia is kind of walking away, he's like he goes out and tries to pinch her on the butt again. These two guys are just meandering around talking to this hot lady over here. Um, and yeah, you switch it, and you're pretty sure he didn't see it.
And that's how I met. Well, I can tell you're not paying attention anymore, my lord.
Oh,
But he's kind of
sorry.
talking.
Let's drink. Let's drink to me.
Of course. I'm thirsty, and that shapely maiden just brought me a tankard, and yours certainly is the cold one. You can take it; it's very refreshing. He probably's not going to notice because he's so drunk, and
He
he
takes a
like
drink
starts
and he
to,
says, "Ah,
yeah,
yes, it is quite chilled."
and
And then he tips it back, and like the sides of his lips, the corner of his mouth, right, the water, the beer is coming
very
down.
good, my lord. Drink long and deep. You have a thirsty night of plowing ahead of you, good lord. You will plow hard and deep and make
I
long
will.
views.
She will not know what happened to her. When
And
I
nor will
see the
you,
brown
good sir.
starfish, and he just keeps going. And we'll switch back to this slightly different conversation. Yeah, what do you do?
Oh, um, Carthis, he knows he can't accept on on Sir Luther's behalf. But it's an interesting proposition because, so Sir Carthis thinks on it. Let me ensure that I understand you correctly. You're proposing that I be the groom in this instance and set up myself as the heir to your kingdom when you pass away?
Yes. You are not wed currently. You have no children. This is what I've been told. At least no true-born heirs. So, although you would lead my house and Bruges for a time after my passing, my grandson would come to age, and he would rule when my daughter bears you children.
So with your passing, I would in effect become regent until he is of age to rule himself.
It
Your
is true.
grandchild.
Yes. Which it would be your son. Would you not wish this? And before that time you will help me crush Sir Eltric, or Lord Eltric, and lead my armies, combine our forces, destroy him once and for all.
This proposal intrigues me, but there are concerns that I must raise with you.
By all means.
Sodden, for one, they will not take it lightly that this is thrown awry, and my territory is directly on the border with them. Where would the retribution come? Word will reach fast and quickly to Sodden.
It will, if we allow it to be so. Perhaps we are attacked. Perhaps he dies in a valiant effort. I will have my Justicars and spies already... They are already in position to make such things known. He has come with a scant force. It would not be difficult to slay him. And then we have an ally. It is
The other
risky.
matter.
Yes?
The other matter. Presuming this wedding occurs today, I am again far enough from home that Elstric can make inways against my territory. I do have capable men in charge of my holdings while I am away, but my leadership will be necessary in the fights to come, and we will be at a disadvantage should this take place at this particular junction. I am not opposed to considering this marriage. It seems rather beneficial, but we will need to set a different date, I fear.
Oh no, it is today or never, I'm afraid. I must know before you leave here. If you are worried about the war, do not be. My men are mustered. They are ready to go. On the morrow you would ride out and lead them, and take the fight to Elstric.
Oh, man. It's so tough because it's not exactly what Luther wants, but it's very close. But it doesn't work in practice. I don't
And you
think.
you can't confer with us.
Exactly, yeah. I don't. In Carthis' mind, it doesn't. It sounds all well and good, but because he is not Luther, it doesn't work in practice. it doesn't work in practice. He can't accept on his behalf. And we plan
I guess
to...
the question is, do you
Oh.
actually intend to ever talk to Luther again, or if this is Erie, do you take her and you just leave? Does it matter? Is another question, I guess.
Carthis has done things already today that he thinks are very dishonorable, and for him to this because for it to work, he would have to become Sir Luther, and that is against everything. He has firmly been who he is and what he has been about, and there's been a lot of indecision. And so for him to do this, for it to work at all, he would have to become someone else, and that's just, I don't think it's a lie he can commit to. But he also wants to use this somehow. So he is deep in thought.
And you can't see him, but Dryden standing behind you with a very clenched jaw and clenched fist just standing there.
I would like to see the bride before I make my decision. If that...
I think that is very acceptable. It was very strange that the Soldan knight did not wish to. I think he may be a shagger of men.
No, based on his behavior...
Oh, Carthis is in for some fun.
Based on his
Or
behavior at the tavern, I must disagree on that score, though he is a man of questionable moral.
Ah, yes, well, no mind him, no mind him. Thomas, come with me. Let's leave these men and by themselves for a moment and go fetch my daughter. And he says, "Sir, I will be back in a moment if this is okay with you." He points to a cup and there's a pitcher wine, as is civilized people might drink.
Certainly.
And he and his guard leave you guys be for a while as they go fetch his daughter.
Yeah,
Leaves you alone.
after a few moments, this hearing their footfalls go away from the door, Carthis turns to Dryden. What the fuck was that?
Dryden throws his hood off, raises his head up, and looks over at Sir Carthis. This is an unbelievable turn of events. You must do this. If it is Irie, and we can just walk out with her, that is what we shall do. Not fight our way out, but walk out with her.
So then I agree to the wedding. They will see my face. Those who know Luther will know that I am not him.
Well, you can choose then to walk out with who I came here for, or we fight our way out of this whole castle.
Walking out's better, Witcher. I don't think we can beat everyone here. Even you. I'll do what I can. I'll play my part, but... this...
What is it you have difficulty with? You are already pretending to be this man.
I will have to answer to this man later. This is his armor. He has entrusted me with this task.
Your honor one day will get you killed. I understand your need for honor. I understand your need to hold your head up, to sleep well at night, to not have the disturbance of a dishonored soul. But also you must be practical. You must know what we are here to do. We are here to put an end to this wedding. And right now, you can do that without bloodshed. That is a very honorable thing to do, Sir Carthis.
Damn your sense, Witcher. And he puts the plate helm back down and takes a quick swig of wine.
Yeah, as you do that, the door creaks open, And the guard steps through first and just kind of walks over to the side, and then the old man follows him and says, "So Luther, this is my daughter, and Carthis, have you ever seen Ari before? I don't remember who was
I don't
ever
think I
matched up.
have.
You don't think you have?
I can't remember ever seeing Irie.
Yeah,
I
I can't.
know
It was
I
just
know
kind of mixed
DevNet, but
between. And I think your side didn't really come over to the very often. So, yeah, I don't think you have. But anyway, this is who it is. Um, Dryden, you see
Yeah,
from across the room.
yeah. Just
Um,
real quickly,
yeah,
Dryden would have pulled his hood back up
yeah, okay,
before they walked into the room.
yep, that's fine. Yeah, you are looking out from the shadows of your hood, kind of standing in the corner. Everyone's turned in this direction, looking at this individual. Um, at first, you are unsure almost because of just the different way that she is dressed, um, how her hair is, she's wearing like makeup. Um, so her long red hair still has these curls, but not quite as wild and tight as you remember. And this is also could be kind of like your memory of someone, like, it's not like perfect after not seeing them for a couple years type of thing. And then we age and stuff too. But I mean, it is her, absolutely is her. But she just looks different. Her gown is this deep, silver embroidered, long, beautiful piece of clothing with a dragon tattoo on her chest. She has not even looked in your direction, Dryden. She's looking at Sir Luther in the helm, and she curtsies, and you can tell when she speaks, and she says, "Oh, thank you, my lord. Uh, I am Erie von Verkus."
Carthis will look to Dryden.
Oh, when you
He'll
look
frame
over,
it.
she looks over at him, and
He
her eyes narrow.
he'll frame it as like a man exchanging glances with his guard before he stands. But Carthus is trying to read Dryden to see, is this like who we want? Like this who you're looking for? Like type of shit. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
looks
yeah.
over at him. You
Yeah,
see
and
my eyes widen under the helm a little bit.
yeah, and Dryden attempts his best not to give himself away. His hood still down, his eyes still down, looking at the ground now. Basically, uh, the only uh, the only look he dared take was when she first walked through the door, and as soon as he got that first glimpse of her red hair and heard her voice, um, he noticed something different, something he's not used to, and he felt nervous. His heart began racing. He's been in combat. He's been in battles. On the way here, he fought slavers. He fought to free those elves. He's been dealing with lords with poison, and not once did he feel nervous or afraid. And the first time, Dryden feels his heart beating faster than it normally does. His jaw unclenches just a little. His fists unclench just a little. And he feels himself relaxing, but at the same time, noticing he's feeling nervous, which is new for him, which is unusual for him. And he takes it in. He stands there and just lets that thump, 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 increased heart rate just kind of take over him while he sinks and falls into, what he feels is like the song of her voice. And he just lets it wash over him and doesn't even notice Sir Carthis look at him, to get his take or anything. Dryden just stands there, just looking down at the ground, not knowing how to explain what he's feeling, the emotions and the overwhelming, power that he feels just kind of going through his chest right now. He's just all nerves and emotion and energy. And he just stands still and not making a move.
So Carthis, not getting a quick read, he just goes, kind of cowboy with it. Just all right, I'll make my decision then. And a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Sir Luther. They call me the Red Knight. And he looks her over.
She looks at you momentarily, but she when you looked over at Dryden, she looked over with you, and she said, "Is that the Witcher?" She doesn't even respond to you.
Pay no mind to my hired help, please. And he tries to dissuade that.
No, I know a Witcher. I know more than one Witcher. And she, you see her father, Ari, he's just, yes, Witchers are, and she says, she gets closer, Dryden, and she's walking over, ignoring Sir Luther, kind of walking around him, and stands maybe, I don't know, 5 feet in front of you, Dryden, and she's not that tall. She kind of, kind of bends over to the side and is trying to look in your hood better.
Yeah, and Dryden just kind of remains calm. He keeps his poise, looking at the ground. He's afraid. He's afraid of this not being real. He's afraid of ruining this moment. He's afraid of this meeting. He's built it up so much in his head, and he's built it up so much in his heart that he's afraid that this isn't really happening. And he just lets his heartbeat just pound, pound, pound in his chest. And he just looks at the ground and hopes that this doesn't end.
She finally says, "Dryden, is that you?" And as she says that, the screen fades to black.
Oh man.
I shouldn't have looked at you. No.